Some movies transcend time and space, while others are a time capsule of a very specific moment. And today we're about to find out where 2001 Save the Last Dance lands on that spectrum. So get ready for some Ice Cube, Julia Stiles, and a whole lot of laughter
Why did we
from
have Ice
us.
Cube in here?
What do you mean?
Was he in this?
Oh, oh my Shayla.
Was it the music?
Yes, it was the
Okay.
music.
I'm sorry. If it wasn't no Vaseline, I'm a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Move.
already on to a good start. Welcome to the No More Leave.
I'm more in tune with NWA's Ice Cube than I am with his later works.
Mm.
Got it. Got it. Thanks for the clarity.
Yeah.
Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jackie, and we're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst movies from the late 90s and early 2000s. This week we're covering Save the Last Dance from 2001, starring Julia Stiles and Sean Patrick Thomas, a movie that tried to convince us that blending ballet and hip-hop was revolutionary.
Yeah.
But before we dive in, let's get into some
housekeeping.
If you love the podcast and you want to support us, here's how you can.
Well, did you know we've curated all of our favorite nostalgic finds, movie night essentials, and throwback gems? So if you're trying to recreate that blockbuster era vibe at home, we've got you covered. Just head to amazon.com/shop/no more late fees podcast.
And joining us today is Tatiana Arrington, TV host, entertainment journalist, pop culture expert, and co-host of the Pop Culture Playbook.
Basically, if there's a cultural moment to unpack, Tatiana is already there, 3 steps ahead of us. Welcome, Tatiana.
Hello.
Hi, thank you guys for having me. Excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you on. If you want to get to know Tatiana better, make sure you check out this week's bonus episode where we rank the corniest 2000s dance movies, and check out her wonderful podcast. Why don't you tell us about your podcast, Tatiana?
Yes, so if you are looking for the play-by-play of pop culture, you want to know who's dating who, you want to know the secret relationships, you want to know what Tyreek Rivers is like in real life, please make sure that you listen to the Pop Culture Playbook. Me and my co-host Simone, we cover any and everything, and we're not afraid to give you guys the real.
Nice. All right, Jackie, tell us about Save the Last Dance.
Well, Sara has to move in with her father from a small Midwestern town to the south side of Chicago when her mother dies in a car accident. She soon falls for a black fellow student at her new high school who has less than an idyllic past. They share a love for dance, ballet, and hip hop, respectively, and together they tackle the problems that come with an interracial relationship. It stars Julia Stiles, Sean Patrick Thomas, Kerry Washington, Bianca Lawson, Terry Kinney, and Fredro Starr. Directed by Thomas Carter, the screenplay is by Dwayne Adler and Cheryl Edwards. The story is by Dwayne Adler, and you can currently watch it on MGM Plus, Hulu, Paramount Plus, and Philo. But before we start, let's get into our ratings rewind.
Well, before we get into our ratings rewind, I just want to say, Thomas Carter, you are that boy, despite whatever we say on this episode. Wonderful black director. Cheryl Edwards is a black female writer. Dwayne Adler is a white man. So I just want you to jot those down as we go through these. The fact that the white man came up with the story of this movie, and they brought on a black woman to help, I'm sure, refine it, and a black director to pull this mess together.
Which
Let's
is
go.
probably between Cheryl and Thomas why this is even remotely watchable.
Facts. And you know, I don't want to be shitting on Dwayne's name, but I watched the movie and I have to infer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the drill. Before we get into the movie, we'll reveal the rating our Y2K versions of ourselves would give. Then at the end, we'll see if our current selves agree with our initial rating. Our scale consists of would buy it again,
The best would play on repeat.
5-day rental,
Would watch again.
2-day rental,
Okay, but nothing to write home about.
and same day rental.
You're not getting to Juilliard with this trash. Nailed it.
You nailed it. Good one.
Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, with our scale, Tatiana, what was your Y2K rating when you first initially saw this movie?
5-day rental.
Got
Easy.
it. Jackie?
I watched it exactly one time as a youth. So I will go same day rental because I never watched it again.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle?
I can't look y'all in the eyes.
It's okay.
Do you have this dance memorized? Do you have the Juilliard chair dance memorized, Danielle?
Own this movie, Jackie.
You know, there are certain movies that you give me shit about owning and loving. Now how the tides have turned.
Look, young Danielle went to see this in the theater by herself. And I was talking to Shayla about this, and she's like, yeah, I used to love going on the bus and going to the theater because she wouldn't go with me, obviously.
Mhm.
But yeah, this was just like sleepover. I was there, girl.
I went to the theater to see Sleepover. That movie is everything.
The difference is, Tatiana, I have an assumption that I'm a little bit older than you. And when you went to see it in the theater, it was appropriate. Just gonna leave that there.
Yeah.
I will say I understand why this resonated with you because we didn't get very many with a lot of like teen movies with a lot of black representation. So
That's
like
true.
it's something where it probably spoke to you.
Yeah, I felt like this was representation.
Yes.
Yeah, it spoke to all of us. Like
Yeah.
something in our brains shifted when this I can quote this whole movie almost. Like
Yeah.
that's how many times I've seen it. Like really bad.
Yeah. We
And
have
I
fresh eyes
Yeah.
now.
I was just
Yes.
I think I watched it and was like, no white girl ever does her hair like that. And then I was out.
Yeah, I mean, she was in a black neighborhood.
Mhm.
I get it, but I feel like her black friends would have been like, let us do your hair for you. Like, what are we trying to do here?
Honestly, I'm gonna be real. I can't do a braid for the life of me. So if you and I were in a situation and
I would be
you
braiding
you
your
were
hair.
more, yeah,
Yeah.
you would braid my hair more than I could do anything.
Yep.
So, well,
Mhm.
let's see how this goes. I'm not, but here's the thing. At the time, I loved this movie.
hmm
Yes.
Have I watched it in a decade? No, I
Well,
haven't.
hot take, did we have to? Like
Oh,
I
right.
No.
watched it today as a refresher, but I haven't seen the movie in 10 years. But I also didn't need to see it. 'Cause,
Right.
like I know it.
It's in our DNA at
Yeah.
this point. And I will say, I was telling my friend that we were covering this movie. And so, Tatiana, one of the things about that a running theme in the show is that there's a few people that I give my heart to. Bianca Lawson is one of those
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
And he
Yes.
said to me, she was trying too hard in that movie. That wasn't for her. That role wasn't for her. And I wanted to fight him, but I said, you know what? Let me go watch it again.
He's inaccurate.
I don't disagree now.
No.
I do feel like
Okay. Okay.
Suburban Princess was not naturally giving those lines.
Oh, fair, fair. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
she wasn't. It ain't
Yeah.
over, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's giving her island accent on Buffy the Vampire Slayer all over again. I'm having flashbacks. It's no bueno.
Okay.
Bianca, I still love you, bitch. I do.
We
It's
all have
just-
hit and misses.
Yeah. But was she giving looks all day? Hell yes.
Yes.
The baddie. Like
Yeah.
perfect. My friend was like one year, because I told her I was coming on here to talk about this movie, and she was like, send me this immediately when it comes But she's also been asking me to dress as Nikki for Halloween, like for some years now too. And I'm just like, nobody's gonna know that that's who I am. Like, I'm literally gonna have to stand in the corner and be like, watch me squash this shit. Like, nobody's gonna know.
And who wouldn't want to do that all party long? Because I know I would.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into these movie facts. So this movie came out January 12th, 2001. It was Martin Luther King weekend, I think.
Yes.
Wow.
Because it broke the record, I think, for the box office for that weekend when it came out. And look at, I'm sure this is not what Martin Luther King had in mind.
He had a dream, and it was the combination of ballet and hip hop.
Oh, let me
Mm,
stop. The budget was $13 million and it grossed $131.5 million.
that's crazy.
So this was an MTV Films production, and now it's Paramount that owns it. So I'm sure they were very happy with raking in. And you saw this commercial every time you turned on MTV.
Yes.
So we had no choice but to go see this movie. None. All right. So it came in number one at the box office. Number two was Traffic. Number three was What Women Want. What is 13 Days? Do you know what that movie is, Jackie?
Yeah, it was the Cuban Missile Crisis movie with Kevin
No,
Costner.
I'm already asleep.
Thank you,
Number
Daddy, for making me watch it.
I'm glad Ron didn't get his hands on me to watch that one.
Yeah.
I had a limit. 5, Miss Congeniality. 6, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which is still PTSD for me and Jackie working at Blockbuster when that movie came out.
Very much
Mm.
so.
Yeah. My movie
Never
has all
had-
these black boxes on the screen, and why is it in a different language? I want English. It ain't in English.
Never had so many DVDs thrown at me than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh my God.
Number 7, The Family Man. 8, Meet the Parents. 9, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And 10, The Legend of Bagger Vance. I'd never seen that movie. The moment I saw that Will Smith was a caddy for this white man, I was out.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was historical. I was done. I'm not watching that. But some people say it's wonderful.
Mm.
Eventually, we'll get to it. Maybe that will be one of our November movies.
Fuck. Me and my mouth.
I'll write that down.
Damn. Why you gotta have a pen, huh?
Legend of.
All right. So Roger Ebert, Lil Raj, he gave this movie 3 out of 4 stars. Of fucking course he did.
Mm.
Roger Ebert, I hope you have no peace. No peace in heaven, hell, wherever the hell you are right now. You gave Baps 0 stars, and you gave this movie 3 stars. We'll
That
never
is
let you
easy.
live it down.
That is the correct reaction, Tatiana.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking. Okay.
So apparently this was more to his liking. You know, he had a lot to say that Baps was just like a horrible representation of the Black community and Black women and all the stuff.
Well, his expectations of the Black community.
Right, exactly.
It's really.
And he didn't take a look around at this movie
Right. Hello.
because he said that despite the film's cliched story and romance, the development is intelligent. The characters are more complicated than we expect, and the ending doesn't tie everything up in a predictable way. What do you mean?
It's the most predictable. Like, if we actually look at the end, when I watched it again, I was like, wait, did Kerry get back with her baby daddy?
Right.
Did he change? Why is he in the inn right now
Right.
after he just yelled at her? I was like, like,
We're supposed to assume that park, him just rolling up to the park was reconciliation.
Yeah.
please. Please.
And I would argue, Raj, that the romance is the most interesting part, and navigating an interracial romance is something that I feel like they did a good job of, like from the perspective of the sister not wanting Sara
Right.
to date him, and like even the lady on the bus judging them for being a couple, things like that.
See, but they missed the big part of
Mhm.
the like what it is to be an interracial relationship, because as much as I know in the Black community you get a lot, eventually that shit dies down. Like
Hmm.
we're not pressed on that forever. We're trying to live, drink water, and mind our business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it really comes from is on the white side, and
Mhm.
that was conveniently missing. We never
Yes.
saw what normally happens, which is the white father is like, oh, hell no, and give me
Right.
hell, right? We didn't
Right.
see any white counterparts. We didn't see the white environment. They're right now in a bubble because they're in the Black environment, and it's very easy for her to like assimilate into that.
Hmm. Hmm.
But let them go take that 1 foot past their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Go to suburban Illinois.
Right. Anywho, critic Wesley Morris wrote that the movie combines the worst of urban exploitation with the worst of teen exploitation and outfits them both in makings of the ultimate racial crossover melodrama. Teen motherhood, deadbeat teen dads, drive-bys, a dangerous ex-girlfriend, speeches straight from the pages of Terry McMillan.
Mm. Woo.
I, Nothing left. He
Ate
ate
them
with
up.
that.
Ate them up. Woo.
And
Yeah.
surprisingly, our girl Lisa Schwartzbaum of Entertainment Weekly wrote, director Thomas Carter is afraid to pump up the volume on its own interracial hip hop Romeo and Juliet story, lest it challenge even one
Sedated.
sedated viewer or disturb the peace. Which is true. This is a very surface
Yeah.
Yes.
level interracial movie.
Yeah.
And it's funny because on TikTok, we've been doing some videos about different tropes, and someone asked for us to do a video on the disposable Black girlfriend trope in
Hmm.
movies from this time period. And I wanted to say, like, hey, we didn't even have enough movies with that interracial dynamic to have the trope really going in that direction.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can do it for television though,
Yes, we can.
for
Yes.
that time period, but we didn't really have a whole bunch in the movie segment.
Hmm.
All right.
Well, before we get into the cast and crew, let's hear a message from our pod pals.
In the competitive world of podcasting, two BFFs set out to do what mainstream Hollywood refuses to do. Talk about black films. We're looking at you, Academy, with planned guest appearances from absolutely no one, and a love for Regina Hall and Regina King, the likes of which you've never seen. Join Mia and Trish as they continue their epic journey into the blackness of film and television. Grab your finest bonnets and iron your durags, cause shit is about to get real. Like Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale real. You know the scene. It's going to be bigger, better, and did we mention blacker? In the...
All right, cast and crew, Jackie, what do we have?
So, do you remember a little movie called 10 Things I Hate About You?
You mean our lost episode? Of course.
Yes.
I'll never forget.
Do you remember a little scene where Julia Stiles is dancing on a table to the Notorious B.I.G.?
Yes.
That is what landed her the role in this movie.
Damn.
The director, Thomas Carter, saw that scene, and that's all he needed to see.
So I don't think she was miscast in this movie. I I do think she has a sincerity about her that putting her in this different environment, the fish out of water, like even though it very much centers her as a white woman in this movie when you're talking about race is, you know, crazy, she still seems more grounded and I don't hate her for it,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yes. I get what you mean.
So if it had gone to someone else, I just like honestly, I can't even think of someone else that I think could have played it because she's still a white girl
Mm-hmm.
who's not trying to like blackfish, like she still seems very much who she is. There are times when she does a neck roll here and there that I'm embarrassed for her, but I think if it was someone who's too much like they fit in too well, it would have rub me the wrong way.
Yes,
Right.
I agree with that. But there is that moment in the movie where she hands Snooki that 20, and I was like, girl,
Oh, and the
like,
way Snooki should have said something to her because I'm like, what are we
yeah,
doing? You're trying too much right
too
now.
much.
Yeah. And Chanel,
Chenille.
because I want to call her Chanel, but Chanel is always hyping her up all the damn time. I'm like, girl, please stop.
Yeah.
Can I say that I hate that it wasn't Chanel? Like,
Yes.
why is everybody in the movie like Chenille? Chenille. Like,
And
there's
she's
so
like,
much.
my
Yeah.
name is Chanel. I'm like,
Chanel. Come on,
uh.
Chanel. It's like so much emphasis on, I'm like, please. Oh my God.
So speaking of Chanel, Kerry Washington's this is her first major role. I think we had seen her in like some TV movies or maybe a TV show here and there, but she was actually working as a substitute teacher at the time, and she was paid so little for the film that she had to return to that job. And she was also I think she had just graduated from college at this point. She switched to elementary school positions because high school students would show up to watch Chanel teach French.
Yeah, I remember I either read it or heard it in an interview that she said that she bought a laptop with the money from this movie. And I remember thinking, girl, what you mean, like $900? Like,
Right.
I was I was shocked that she said that.
But I think back then laptops were way more expensive. They
Okay,
had to
okay.
be
Yeah.
more expensive. Like, because how I think you can get one at the cheapest if it has nothing, maybe like $300 now. But back
Yeah.
then, I think it was at least a cool 1,000.
I'm asking Google.
Oh, okay.
$1,600.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
makes, but how, so what, she got $1,000 for this role?
That's why I'm like, did you take, but she didn't say like some or all. She was just like,
Right.
oh, I took the money from this movie and I bought a laptop. And I was just like, huh, okay, interesting. But I mean, yeah, this was like the first thing I've ever seen Carrie in. Like, and
Yeah.
she's so distinct in the movie too
Yeah.
that you just kind of don't ever forget her. So as you're seeing other things throughout the years, like you're like, oh, that's the girl for like for me at least for the longest. Oh, that's the girl from Say the Last Dance. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like I don't want to say she was overacting, but maybe she was doing better at her job. Like it was a little bit
It
over
was a
the
little bit of
top.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Like
was
she
very
leaned in
grounded.
just a smidge too hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like she was better than a lot of the other people in the
Yes.
movie. Like it was, yeah.
It's just like make a choice. But I
Mhm.
will say that Sean Patrick Thomas, though, he was really good. But it felt like he is old. Because he was.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
legit was
Mhm.
31 years old in this movie.
And
Mhm.
And
Julia
Julia,
Stiles was 19. She turned
yeah,
20 like a couple of months after the movie came out.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Now, why they do
So,
that?
so here's the
Right.
thing. We talk about this a lot about these age gaps. And a lot of the times some of the age gaps we've seen are just gross because
Yeah.
the star hasn't is not even 18. Like if you
Right.
look at Cinderella Story, Freaky Friday, some of the Olsen Twins movies, I think
Mhm.
Holiday in the Sun, the guy from One Tree Hill, he talks about like he was in his early 20s and the girls were like 14, 15 years old.
Oh my
Gross.
God.
This gap, at least Julia was 18, but I
Yeah.
still think it's egregious. But
Mhm.
however, I will say this, when it comes to black actors, it's a little bit more difficult because the roles aren't always coming in. And so you
Mhm.
see actors like him or like a Gabrielle Union who was well into her 20s and Bring It On. I think almost 30 by the time
Mhm.
that one came out. So
Yeah.
you do what you have to do. So I understand
Absolutely.
it, but I still think it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, but I think I'm so used to like, because just when back in the day, they always had 30-year-olds playing high schoolers that I didn't even notice that on my watch because that just felt normal that
Yes.
felt normal to me.
But the thing is that it was always the men and not the
Hmm.
women.
Yes. Very true.
I think Stalker Channing is an exception in Grease because she was 30 and everybody else was like younger in that movie. But usually it was like the girl is always extremely young and the guys are older, and it just doesn't make sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, regardless of the fact that Sean Patrick Thomas was 31, he was nervous about being pigeonholed as a teen actor with this role because he had just previously been in Can't Hardly Wait and Cruel Intentions.
And that's true. Because I'll be honest, after this, I think I saw him more frequently on TV shows, but I didn't see him in a whole lot of movies after this.
No.
So he wasn't wrong to be worried about that.
Yeah.
Damn.
No. I
Oh,
met him though.
man.
He's actually really nice.
I
I'm
believe that.
sure.
Yeah. He's on the
Lovely
Rookie
human.
right now. How did you meet him on the red carpet?
He, oh, you know what's crazy that I just put this together just now? Kerry executive produced a show called Reasonable Doubt, and he was
Yeah.
in Reasonable Doubt. And they did
Aw.
like a brunch in Atlanta, so I met him. I brought up Save the Last Dance. Like I can't help myself. I was like, "That's the first movie I saw you in." Like, and he's like, "Yeah, yeah." So yeah, he was really nice. But I didn't even think about that connection, like however many years back. That's crazy.
I love that.
Between them, yeah.
They were interviewed recently because last year was their 25th anniversary of the movie.
Ah,
So they did an interview together, Julia and Sean, and they were talking about that they should do a project together. He was like, "Yeah, now we're both, grown-ups." And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You
uh,
were a grown-up then,
Yeah.
sir." But I thought that was cute that they did a bunch of interviews for it.
mhm.
While
Keep
you think
going.
about that, Fatima Robinson was the film's hip hop choreographer who choreographed for artists such as Michael Jackson and Aaliyah. The portion of the routine where Sara uses a chair is similar to the chair routine from the Backstreet Boys' As Long as You Love Me music video.
Oh, I love that. And I miss the days of having MTV and VH1 where we knew who choreographers were.
Yes.
Hello.
We knew
Yes.
who music video directors were. Like
Yes.
now it's like all that information is just faded and
Yeah.
gone.
MTV dying like broke my heart. I was like, the
Yeah.
kids. Think of the kids. Yeah.
Ah. So Nicholas Goodman was originally attached to direct this film, but was fired early into production. I would like to know the tea on that.
Mm-hmm.
Why fired?
Right.
That's a strong word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually it's leftover creative differences.
Right. Okay, ready
Okay,
to
let's
dive in.
do it. Yeah. So we see Sara is a classically trained ballerina and she has her interview for Juilliard coming up. Her mom, it looks like, owns her own gift basket shop or floral shop.
Flowers,
Some
I think it was a flower shop.
yeah, floral shop. It was something. And so as Sara is like preparing to go, she's like, "You promised you'd be there." And mom's like, "There are floral emergencies. I can't just leave." And so Sarah's kind of bitching at her mom and like, "You promised you'd go." And so Sara, as she's performing, is pissed that mom isn't there. Meanwhile, we cut to a scene of a huge 18-wheeler accident.
The Final Destination semi truck got her mom.
Yes.
Tragic.
So now she not only did not get in with her audition, she has the grief of being angry at her mom for not showing up when her mom was in a tragic car accident and actively dying while she was on stage. And now she has to move in with her father who left her when she was a small child. So,
And in his defense, he was like Ryan Gosling in La La Land trying to save Jazz. Why he couldn't raise his child. Just so y'all know.
I never saw La La Land, so I'll take your word
What do
for
you
it.
mean? What?
Okay. Because my immediate thoughts was like, oh, is Sarah's dad a bum? But I,
I was I was joking, but like, there's no
Okay.
reason for him to. I was just messing that
Yeah.
this white man is trying to save jazz because he's a jazz
Got
musician.
it. Okay. Okay,
But
my bad.
since that didn't land, we can move on.
Well, yeah, and we see like he lives in this very like barely livable apartment.
Horrible.
And he just keeps saying, I was gonna fix up the room for you, but then I didn't.
I
Yeah.
think it's fucked up that he doesn't tell his daughter to have his room until he
Yes.
fixes
Right.
up hers.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
just been through an unimaginable trauma. And now it's sleep
Mhm.
on the couch till I get around making your room livable. And by
Yeah.
room, I mean this side room that I'm going to put a shower curtain up to divide from the living space.
No,
Like,
there's a door. There's a
He hangs up
sliding
a
door.
curtain.
yeah, she hangs
That's
up
be-
a
oh, oh, you mean the open space.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the room that he hasn't done yet has
Yeah.
that door.
Hmm.
And when he does fix that room up, he's like, "Don't touch the wall. It's still wet." Then why did you put the comforter and everything?
Yeah.
It's giving Sarah, get out of that house as soon as possible.
It's giving like, Sarah, who did your mom like get with? Like, who is this
Right.
Yeah.
man?
Because her mom seems to like she's
Seems
a
lovely.
businesswoman. Yeah, she's very supportive of her daughter and has like paid for all of these lessons and been to all of her shows and is going to the Juilliard audition. And then like we meet one step above homeless daddy.
I just want
Yeah.
to know who's paying for Juilliard when she goes.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
right?
My thinking was she got a scholarship.
With that
I
dancing.
I filled in my own blank. It was like, surely she got a
Maybe
scholarship.
she sold her mama's business.
Oh, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So now we see Sarah on her first day of school. She has now moved to the south side of Chicago. She kind of tries to talk to people, but they kind of ghost her as soon as they.
I don't know that's not necessarily the case because when she's on the train, that old lady was trying to be so nice to her and she won't have none of that. And
But she's
then
depressed.
she is.
Yeah.
I get it. But then Chanel helps her from getting her bag stolen and she says absolutely nothing. It's like 20 minutes before she's like, "Oh, my name is girl, that girl gone."
She got to get to class.
Yeah.
So I guess that's supposed to represent her grief is still like top of mind, but
Hmm.
can't make new friends if you ain't talking to people.
Yeah, like
Right.
her social interactions take a back seat to wallowing in her own misery.
Hmm.
And then the next scene is when they're in her, I think, English class, and it feels so much like 10 Things I Hate About
Yes.
You
Yeah.
with like this argument going back and forth
Hmm.
between her and I keep wanting to call him Sean, but that's not his name in this
Derek.
movie. Derek,
Hey, yo,
yes.
Derek. Yeah. I love Frito's star through the whole, hey, yo, Derek, like through the whole movie.
And this whole episode, you're just gonna hear me calling him Moesha's boyfriend because that's all I know.
Fair. No, me too. Me too. This and Moesha, that's it for him. I feel like when we meet Kerry, her intro is so perfect because her voice is like so distinct.
Right.
Mhm.
And then her friend, is it Diggy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Her friend Diggy like reminded me of Buck Wild from Flavor of Love. I was just like, who is this girl trying to like when she said she thinks she's down, like that's really what it was giving. Like, girl, you think you're down.
I think one, the studio was like, we need more white people in this ASAP,
Mm,
right?
mhm,
But
mhm.
two, it's really great to have her character there because it's such a stark difference to the kind of white
Yes.
Yes.
that Sarah is.
Yes.
When I was saying like how grounded she is and being like a just an average white girl instead of going the other way.
Yeah. Everybody has such strong accents that they actually have or they're doing in the movie, like Carrie, like when she calls Derek an asshole, and she was like, "He's my brother." Like,
Yes.
okay, okay, girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And
Because
that is in the lunchroom scene where
Mhm.
Sarah's trying to figure out where to sit. She ends up sitting next to like this nerdy guy, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?"
he gives her hers. I don't know what he was talking about. And I was just like,
I don't think he's
run,
ever
girl.
talked to a girl before. He was
Never.
excited.
No, yeah.
And Chanel is like, "Come sit over here."
Yeah, she's constantly saving Sarah.
Yes.
She's Captain
Mm,
Save a White Girl for
mm,
sure. But
mhm.
I will say I think a lot of people have this stigma. They think if they go into black spaces that like we're gonna beat them up or whatever. But I find that black people can be some of the kindest, most
Mhm.
welcoming to outsiders,
Yes.
despite what happens when we do that. So I
Yes.
hate that, it's portrayed that way. And I like that Chanel threw that in and was always watching out for Sarah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, oh, how does she get invited to Club
Steps.
Step?
I feel like they're out. No, I don't remember. I know that they go outside to get her drivers to get her fake ID. They give
Yeah.
Diggy
That's what she
them,
hands him the
or
20,
not
like
Snooky. Yeah.
Is
Snooky.
it?
Wait, what does he say? Snooky the coochie crook? I was
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
sir, jail. Jail.
Immediately.
Insane.
Is it because I feel like Chanel sees Sarah's dancing and is like,
Yes,
okay.
that's what it
So
is.
is it when she's on the bar or
Yes.
Yes, so they're at PE. Jackie and
Yes.
I don't have, you tell us if this is your experience, but in Florida, we were only told to run around all the time. We never had any
Absolutely.
real gym. So whenever I see these movies and they're climbing a rope and doing all sorts of stuff, I'm like, we don't know that life.
No,
We
me
don't know what that
neither. That
is.
was the high school I was promised,
Right.
yes.
but I did not get. No, yeah. Because
Yeah.
then, yes, it happens in the gym class. And this is like, at this point, we've seen Nikki like in these random clips, but she has not talked. It's like
Mhm.
20 minutes in, she still has not talked, but she's serving face. So like we just
Yes,
see
she's in the
her.
background.
Yeah.
But like, what I don't understand immediately, the fact that Sarah's doing the bare minimum on this
Mhm.
bar, by the way, it automatically sets off Nikki's care. Like she is mad.
Yeah.
You could see it in her face, and I'm like, why are you mad? Because mind you, we have not seen Sarah interact with
Right.
with
Derek.
Eric at all.
I think Nikki fancies herself the best dancer at
Hmm.
school, and now she has competition.
But that's not dancing.
Yeah.
That's gymnastics at most.
Hmm.
Maybe
She just
I
doesn't like
don't know.
anybody like fawning over somebody else. Like
Yeah, maybe
she
it's
wants
that
to be
too.
that girl,
Yeah.
the girl.
When you're that girl, you're not pressed about other girls.
Very true.
And
Very
that's why
true.
Nikki isn't that girl.
Well, wait. Well, Bianca
Kind of
Lawson is.
was.
I didn't say
I just had to
Bianca
clarify. I
Lawson.
just had to clarify. Because I know Bianca listens to the show.
Yeah.
And by the way, Julia Stiles is a close friend. And when I say
Okay.
close friend, she follows us on Instagram.
Oh,
And
yes.
that's good enough. So there's
Fun.
no
Hello.
trash on this episode
No.
Oh my God.
whatsoever.
Fun. Yeah. No, why was the soundtrack on this movie so good?
So good.
Like when I was watching it today, I was like, hold up.
Yes. It I do remember it. I had the soundtrack and I remember it being very good. There's a Casey and JoJo. Let me look at the back of this CD. I
Lots
can't.
of Fat Man Scoop, rest in peace.
Yes. Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah, which is so great.
So good. And then Ice Cube. That song changed my life, I felt. I just wanted when they do the spin, like, don't stop, get it. That's it. And she does that, they do the toe thing, and like, I was like, yeah, that's it.
Were
Oh
you
yeah.
in the club in your blazer trying to replicate that dance, Danielle?
When this movie came out, we weren't in blazers yet.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but I was at the club. but I wasn't doing none of those moves because I would have gotten beat up because that's silly and stupid.
Yeah, it is. Me and my friends have done it like for fun to be funny, but
Yeah.
you're not actually.
I have a
No.
question. Why is this movie called Save the Last Dance?
Because at the end of the night, you save the last dance on your dance card for your favorite person. Mm.
That was a great question. Can I just say, as a journalist, I'm now processing in my mind, like, why is this movie called Save the Last
Because
Dance?
there were no last dances there was an audition at the end. Were we saving that for Derek? I don't
Somebody
understand.
said, I got it. And that's what happened.
I got it. Save the Last Dance.
All right.
Finally.
Genius.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna tell you guys what the soundtrack had.
Okay.
We had "Crazy" by Casey and JoJo. Man, I miss good R&B, man. We ain't got it. Okay, "Breathe and Stop" by Q-Tip.
Great.
"Murder, She Wrote," Shaka Demis.
Great.
Hope I said that right. I know him. I know the song. I never thought to myself, who sings this? Didn't care. I just knew when the song came on what I was doing to it.
Yeah.
You Can Do It, Ice Cube, Mac 10.
Perfect.
Only You, Notorious B.I.G., 112, and That Man. Get It Tonight, Montel Jordan. All or Nothing, Athena Cage. You Make Me Sick by Blackpink. Not the Blackpink we know, but Pink when she was in her blackface.
Yes.
Bonafide by X2C. Shining Through by Jill Scott and Fredro Starr. How do you say? Is that Fredro? How do you say his name? Fredro? That's not right. Moesha's Boyfriend.
Yeah.
You by Snoop Dogg, Q-Tip, and remember Lucy Pearl? That was a shame they broke up. I like that group. And My Window, Soulbone. Yeah.
So which song on there is Live Your Dreams? It's not as hard as
It might be the
You got
Athena
it.
Cage song. Hold on, let me
Okay.
see
Okay.
if I could find it.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I'll look for it after. So where are we at now? The first time they go to steps?
Yes.
Yes.
The song, it was Athena.
Okay.
The song is All or Nothing. Live Your Dreams.
Okay, got it.
But so yes, now we're getting ready for her to go to steps for the first time. So Chenille tells her to come to her house first. And we do see Sara leaving the scariest place I've seen in America to go to her house.
Mhm.
And she gets, you could kind of see her scoping out the apartment, and she meets her and Derek's grandma. There's a baby. So she's putting two and two together. She's like, "Is that your baby?" And she's like, "Well, it
it
ain't
sure
my
ain't Mama Dean's. Yeah. It's like, okay.
So she must have gotten pregnant, so I'm assuming that Derek is a senior.
Yes, because he got into Georgetown.
So Sara must be a senior too because she's going to Juilliard. That's a
I
college,
think so.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A
I just knew they
secondary
were
school.
dancing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Chenille is maybe a year or two younger.
Maybe. Yeah.
So 10th grade, you would probably be 16. That baby was at least,
It looked like
At
a
least
year.
two.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Child.
13.
It's not looking good with these numbers.
Yeah.
Let's
No.
not think about it too much. Let's not
Yeah.
think about it
Yeah.
too
Let's
much.
keep going.
So they're getting ready to go. Sara is constantly worried about her outfit, as she should be.
Mhm. As she should be. Yeah.
And
Girl.
Chanel's like,
But it's from the Gap.
It's country and you look country in it. Like she had some of the best lines.
I love how they're just walking by and a friend happens to park along the street and they're like, "Girl, can we use the back of your car for a second?" And the friend's like,
Yeah.
"Sure."
Yeah.
and what comes out, I'm like, Okay.
Where did we get the fabric for the head?
Her scarf, I think.
She had
She was
on a
wearing her
scarf.
scarf.
So she had a matching scar and
With her
scarf
shirt.
and cami set.
Yes.
Okay.
The Gap set
Come on,
her up.
can't be set? Yes.
And then she's in the club. They're in the club.
Trying her best.
She's
Trying her
ordering
best.
like Chanel like goes up and orders her usual drink and walks away, and then Sarah's just standing there like I forget what she orders, like a vodka soda
No,
or
it's
a beer,
rum and coke
or
and
whatever
beer.
or anything.
Yeah, any beer. And then old man McGee comes over and tells her, clearly you don't drink because you wouldn't just ask for any old beer.
Yeah.
So they're bickering
Yeah, that
back
whole
and
scene
forth.
was corny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Corny
very much
AF.
so.
He was like, it should be the best beer. Like, what are we talking about? Like, do you like me? What
Yeah.
are we doing?
Like it would have made way more sense if like she just couldn't get someone to come over and take her order, so he walks over and like
Yes.
helps her
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
because he knows the bartender or whatever because he's there all the time.
And referencing an earlier conversation, she says to him she could dance circles around him. So now
Right.
he's calling her bluff, and what ensues is one of the most embarrassing secondhand embarrassment I have felt in a long time. I struggled to get through some of these scenes, but I made myself watch them because I was like, we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it was bad, Jackie. It was
Yeah, no, it was awful. It was bad. But I guess it was so bad that he was like, hey, let's meet up after school. Like, let's really take this seriously.
I want to
you
help
know?
you with this
Like
major
this-
problem you have.
This is an issue.
Yeah.
This is why I'm still single, because to this day I'm waiting for a man to say he wants to choreograph a number with me. Where are you?
Danielle's gonna be
Where are
like, let me
you?
get my tap shoes.
Hold on. Are we doing buffaloes? Because I got you.
Yeah, I think I'm like more the High School Musical where I'm just waiting for us to break out into dance. And
Yes.
it's already pre-choreographed and he looks like Zac Efron. I'm like, this is the best night of my life. So
I'm just
Waiting.
waiting to have rhythm someday.
Oh, my poor Jackie.
I have a
all
lot
got
of
different dreams.
strengths. That's not one of them.
Yeah.
I always go ahead. Sorry, Tatiana.
No, you go.
I'll be honest. This is a safe space, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I get sad that I don't have a best friend I could do TikTok dances with.
I'm
I
sad
think that's
too.
okay. I think that's okay.
I don't say it because I don't want to hurt your feelings, Jackie, that
Oh,
this is
no.
something my heart yearns for.
Hey,
Call
take her
Shayla.
after school.
Shayla doesn't have it either.
Do it with Christine.
You know, I tried showing my mom the new TikTok one where you're doing the pump it up thing.
Mhm.
Have you seen that one,
Yeah.
Tatiana?
I haven't seen that one.
So it's a dance where you're dancing and at some point somebody folds over and then you pump them up and they get up and then they do it. It's super cute. And I was like, Ma, pay attention. I was in the garage. She's like, you learn it first. I was like, damn, I got to catch her on another day because my mom
Yeah.
does love to dance. So
She does. I think that is a super precious way to go since none of your friends can.
it
Can
just makes me
keep a
so
beat.
sad. Nobody
sorry.
wants to do TikTok dances.
Donnie will. Next
That's
time you're
true.
together. My brother is an excellent dancer.
Oh, okay. I mean, I say just take Jackie after school and,
Tatiana,
get those
let's-
lessons going.
Tatiana, stop.
I'm
I'm trying to relate it back to the movie.
Sarah at least could find a beat.
A little
I've-
bit.
I've been to many a dance, many a wedding, many a occasion with my dear friend. And you know what? She lets her free fly and have fun and dance. No judgment here. And that's all that's it.
Yeah.
That's,
I own it too.
yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what's funny? They were doing all this rehearsal just to go to steps.
Yeah.
Like they were doing all of this just like, hey, next time when we come back to steps, killed it. We're gonna kill it. Like
It's gonna
let's
be
just-
like in White Girls where they just clear the floor and they're like, watch this. And then it's
Right.
just like their choreographed dance.
And
Yeah.
see, this is what movies prepared me in my mind to think that was going to happen. That's why I think going to a black college was the best thing that ever happened because we did have a lot of line dances. I remember my freshman year, I got there and everybody was doing the same dance. I was like, hold on, hold on, hold on. When did this happen?
When did you guys
When
learn
did
this?
you study doing this? Because we didn't have TikTok, we didn't have none of that. And they all knew it. But eventually, by the time I was gone, I knew all them dances.
Yeah, it's a rite of
It,
passage,
it
you know.
is.
But yeah, they go to steps a second time after full-on rehearsals. And I actually loved Sarah's outfit here. I felt she
Yeah.
looked very cute. The little pink halter, the
Hmm.
hair. I was like, okay, like,
We're getting somewhere.
She
yeah,
did some, she
yeah.
did her little twist backs.
Mm-hmm.
It was cute.
It was
She was
very
looking
cute.
really cute.
And then they hit
Uh,
that two-step,
yeah.
tick, tick, boom.
Yeah. Uh,
Left, right, left. Yeah. And Nikki was pissed.
she was.
Nikki
She's
was livid.
She had to squash that. And
she
she
said
had that cute outfit on.
so, oh my God. Outfit of
That,
my actually I liked probably all of Nikki's outfits in that in
yeah.
that movie. But yeah, the all black ensemble with the little gloves and then the hair too.
Mm.
Watch me squat. Wait, that's her first look. Her
Hmm.
second
No,
look is which I'm getting them
no,
confused.
that is the second look because she grinds. It's like a silverish black, no
Yes,
back
with the back
outfit.
out. Yes,
I
hot.
will say this though.
Uh,
Nikki didn't squash much because the moves were not giving. And I say that because I think us seeing how good some real dancers are and then to
mhm.
watch this. Like when you actually go to a club, you see some stuff. You
Yeah.
see some people pop, drop, lock, whatever.
You do.
And this was very mild. This was
But it was
okay.
still kind of sexy though. Like
It was. It
it
was.
was it was a little like steamy for high school. Like
Yes.
It was
okay,
very
enough for
flirty.
Sarah to walk off like, man, what the hell? Like so
Yeah.
I would
but I
have
get it.
I would have punched him in the face because yes, culturally when we're dancing and grinding and whatever, it is just dancing. It is not a sexual thing all the time. It can be, but it can be just dancing. But it can never be that innocent with your ex-girlfriend and that you were so into it, you didn't even notice I was gone and you
Right,
let
Yeah.
her grind up on you. So
right.
his little quick apology to Sarah and she was able to accept that so quickly. I didn't like that. And then immediately they go back to her place and sleep together. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Right. And it's like, what?
Sarah,
To true
baby.
colors. We see your true
Right?
colors. And it's like, okay.
Oh no, who did that?
Yeah.
That was, oh God.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
also we haven't talked yet about Malachi, who is Derek's friend from his
Moesha's
past.
boyfriend.
Yes. And we find out that like Derek was involved with some illicit things in his past, but now he's straightened up because he wants to be a doctor and he's trying to get into a good college. But Malachi keeps trying to drag him back in, mostly because Malachi took the fall for, was it a robbery that went sideways?
Yeah, they like robbed a gas station or something.
Yeah.
Something's real stupid shit. Like,
Stupid.
yeah.
And Malachi is holding it over his head and trying to
Mhm.
pull him back in and like, I really need you. And I should have just told the cops that it was you and all this stuff. And so that comes back into play later, along with Sarah is in the bathroom at school and she sees Malachi roughing this girl up. He owes her money or she owes him money for
Straight bitch
drugs or
slaps
something.
her.
Yeah. And Sarah comes to her defense and is
Yeah.
like, leave
He
her
doesn't
alone.
he doesn't slap her. And you know why? The only reason I feel like he didn't slap her is because there's no way the studios would have been like,
Mhm.
okay,
Oh yeah.
with this
Yeah.
black man slapping this white girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely
But
not.
it was totally fine to slap that black girl in this movie.
Yes.
Mhm.
Just keep
Also,
that in
Derek
mind.
would have like beat him up
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the world of like the story. Like if Sarah would have been like, he hit me, like
right.
And Malachi threatens her
yeah.
Yeah.
and is like, don't say anyone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
or don't tell anyone what you saw.
Yeah.
I think Malachi's in love with Derek. I truly think that. Mainly because when Derek punches him, now what we know about Malachi is that his ego is bigger than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be top dog. So for his bestie to punch him out and not punch him back or doesn't do anything, doesn't get mad, whatever. And then later, when Derek breaks up with Sara and comes back running to old boy, he's good. He also pulls Sara aside and says, as she's watching Nikki and Derek dance on top of each other, he says, that's how it's supposed to be. She looks so much better with him than you do. That their oil and your milk, which I don't even have words to
Yeah.
this day
No.
about how ridiculous that is.
Yeah.
Like he was so pressed, and I don't
Mhm.
think it had anything to do with Sara being white. I just think he's in love with Derek.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
He's just trying to create tension wherever he can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So-
we see Derek and Sara spending more time together. So they're still doing their after school practices. He's telling her to stop thinking, just feel it, because she's too rigid in her ballet training. And so you need to get down and dirty. And this is the scene behind me where he's like, you need to slouch in the chair. And like,
When she made the noise, I said, Lord, can I just fast forward? I can't do it. I can't.
Derek told her to, Danielle.
I don't care. And this practice, the room that they're using is at school.
Yes.
And Derek says, if we're going to do this again, we have to find another place. I'm like, what is happening right now? Why are we having these practices? It made more sense when she was trying to get into Juilliard.
Right.
But like you said, Tatiana, to get into steps.
Yeah, like to just take these moves back to steps. Like, okay. Right,
Which,
right.
by the way, the Steps nightclub in real life is actually a gothic club called the Crowbar.
That's funny.
So,
You would never think that.
right?
Okay.
Just so far removed from hip hop.
I love it.
And the one thing I wish that they would have done is as soon as Derek and Sara officially transition, like you could see that they're dating each other,
Mhm.
you don't really see Sara and Chenille hanging out as much. So it almost just feels like transactional, like you help me and then now I'm with your brother and that's it. Like I would have liked a little bit more balance to show that she still was friends and didn't completely fall into just everything's about Derek, because I think we only get that one scene really when she's with Chenille and the baby at the pediatrician
Mhm.
and Chenille kind of goes off on her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
Because Sara and Nikki get into it in gym class
Right.
and start
Yeah.
just full on fighting because Nikki is jealous that Sara is now with Derek.
And it's also right after they dance on each other. So Sarah's also wanting to, like, she gave her a real bitch slap. She wasn't
Yeah.
punching. It was like a lot of slapping.
And she
Lot
was
of
feeling
scratching.
herself.
Yeah.
Because isn't that the scene before where she's like, how's my butt? Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And by that point, when her and Nikki get into the fight, had they already gone to the ballet? And
No, I don't
No?
think so.
Okay.
Because I don't think Derek got in. Well, maybe. Because, yeah, I think you're right. It was that happened before.
Okay.
Because,
So they saw that lady on the train. They went to the ballet. They're
yeah.
still doing their rehearsals. Because now at this point, is she trying to get into Juilliard?
Yeah.
After this, yeah.
She's had the conversation with Derek
Okay.
that because he's kind of like what's going on. I think it's after the ballet they have that conversation of like, do
Okay.
you want to get into Juilliard? Like you're letting
Yeah.
all of these like unresolved feelings with your mother passing kind of cloud your judgment. What do you want at the end of the day? And she's like, yeah, I still want to get into Juilliard. And he's like, okay, let's go, let's start. practicing.
Yeah, she has a month between then and the audition in Chicago.
That's
And
it? Oh my
yeah,
God.
so she starts taking ballet classes to get back in shape, and
Mhm.
Derek is all up in them. I know this.
Right.
If you've
He
ever
had nothing
taken
better to
dance
do.
class, well, it's not even just that. I don't know a dance teacher would allow someone from the outside
He
being there.
was very much a dance mom while
Yes, he
Sara
was.
Yes.
prepped for Juilliard.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do think that the fight with Nikki is after all of that
Yeah.
because when he tries to come over to her house when he finds out about the fight,
Right.
and her dad just he doesn't say anything. So she's trying to get Derek to leave.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And also the conversation with Chanel where she goes in on her saying that Nikki wasn't exactly wrong and that, for Black women having to fight to get decent Black men and then have to also deal with white women coming into the equation. You, and also rightfully so, telling Sara though to like wake up and see what this environment is. You're in our environment, you're in the Black community, and you're just kind of living in a rose-colored bubble and not really understanding the everyday that they're living.
Open up your pretty brown eyes and look the hell around. Hilarious. Yes. I
And
was like,
Sara
okay, Kerry.
and Sarah's offended and hurt, and so she walks away. And then she tries to break up with Derek, and essentially does. They get
Mhm.
into a fight because Derek is like, "What the hell? I'm fighting like hell to be together."
But Derek said something crazy. Like he said, you're just trying to punk out on the ballet because your mom died. That is
Yeah.
insane to say to somebody. Like, I cannot
That's when
believe he
you
said that.
throat punch right there. Just keep my mama's name out of your mouth.
Like, what,
Mhm.
sir? Are you kidding right now?
You learn a lot about the person you're dating when you have your big fight, the
Yeah.
first big fight. How
Mm,
they talk to you, how they handle their anger. This was not a good sign.
No.
no,
She runs away. He gets butthurt and he says very unforgiving things.
that was horrible. Oh, you know what I just remember too, before the hospital scene, we have that scene with Kerry and her baby daddy.
Yes.
That scene was crazy to me too. Like where he's like, "Hey, yo, get him ready. Get him ready." And I'm like,
Whoa. Okay, let's rewind back to meeting Chenille's baby daddy,
Kenny.
who is his name is Kenny. He's played by Garland Witt. I remember in the theater looking at this man saying, "That's who y'all got to play her baby
like this was the
daddy?"
best you guys could do on
Right,
TV.
This is
Like
Kerry
really.
Washington.
right. And he opened his mouth sounding like fucking Urkel. Like
Come on,
he
Chanel. Come on, Chanel. I'm like, are these lines really working on her? Like,
Yeah. And
there's
she
no way
keeps,
she's falling for this.
yeah. And as much as a scumbag, like deadbeat dad he is, she still is like, got a soft spot for, it's like, why? He doesn't
what?
pay
Why?
you child support. He doesn't take your kid when at the agreed upon time. He expects you when he shows up, like, you need to get the child ready. Sir, who is taking care of this child 99.9% of the time?
Right.
Me.
Me and Mama Dean.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, hello.
When
Yeah.
he at the bar, when they're at the bar, and this is the first introduction to him for Sara. Sara's kind of
Uh-huh.
like, I'm just gonna sit over here till you tell me it's okay to acknowledge this weirdo.
Right.
Because all
Hmm.
you've said to me is, oh my God, he's coming. No reference point.
Yeah.
Right.
He comes
Christopher's
over,
father.
right. And he comes over and he's like, come on, Chanel. And she's like, well, I don't know what she says, but he's like, this is what we do. You came here for this. You came here to argue, and then we're to get. I'm like, what? What
It
is
was horrible. It
what
was
is he
horrible.
saying? And
Yeah.
why is she giggling like it's Fitz and Olivia? I don't like this.
And why is she giggling like he gave her $1,000? Like
Right.
Yeah.
you literally just said in the line before that, like, why, like he said, sorry, I couldn't take the baby because I had to go to work. She was like, I haven't seen the fruits of that labor. Like he's not giving you
Yes.
any money. He doesn't take the kid, like you said, Jackie. Like what are we giggling over?
But also, Chanel is at steps a lot. So is Mama D just staying home raising Kenny and Chanel's baby while she's
Hmm.
out at the club?
Which also I'm like, till 1 a.m. and you're in high school?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't know, like, so we grew up in this city, right? And I had a biology class, and all the cheerleaders were in that class for some reason, and a few fast girls, I'll just say that. And they would talk about the teen club that they had in our neighborhood. I didn't even ask where it was or anything else. Like I listened to it because I was like, wow, y'all are doing a lot. So to watch this movie on screen and say y'all were sinking into real
A
adult
real club.
clubs,
Yeah. Crazy.
crazy. The only time I ever did that was on a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Right.
Because I was well developed, nobody was carding me, and I got in.
And then you looked around and said, now what do I do?
Now I gotta go back to the teen club because these men are nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my first time at the teen club was on a carnival cruise. Like I just don't go to the club. So yeah, I agree. That was very crazy.
I think the
Mhm.
only time I ever went to a club was Danielle's 21st birthday.
You lie.
I never went. Like, why would I go?
You mean after that or ever? This was
Ever.
you never went to a club after that my 21st?
Why would I go to a club, Danielle? They're loud. Men rub their penises on you.
Oh,
I can't,
Jackie.
like, no, I'm not going. I can't dance. Like, there's nothing for me at the club.
There's
Wait,
nothing
what
for
club
me
did we
there.
go to on my 21st
I
birthday?
don't remember, but we went to a
I
club.
was so drunk.
You really were.
I fell right out of the elevator.
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
That's how
Sign
it's
of a good night.
done. Yeah.
I don't even remember we went to a club. I remember us going to a bar
Yes.
and trying all the things. I had a
And
sex on the
after that,
beach.
we went to a club because we were in Fort Lauderdale.
God.
Mm.
First and
Well,
last time.
Only way to
Done.
do it.
Yeah.
it won't be your last time. I'm gonna make us go to a club for real.
Girl, I have loop earplugs to go out in most public settings. I am
Oh
not
my
going to a loud ass club.
Jackie.
I don't even like to
Anywho,
go to a bar where I have to raise my voice to talk to someone. I'm not going to a club.
the lives we live.
Yeah.
Maybe karaoke, but that's it.
Karaoke's always fun.
Yeah.
Karaoke's always a good time.
Well,
Okay.
we already talked about me. If I ever get married, I have two different bachelorette groups, so
Yes.
it's
Mhm.
fine.
Mm.
There's the group if I say take this pill, they don't care, and then there's the group of we're just doing karaoke or something like that.
Karaoke, and then we're going to swim in like the themed Airbnb.
Swim. I have to have braids.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mm,
We'll
okay.
work it out.
We'll talk about it. And so now I don't know where we're at, but I'm gonna speed
I
through.
feel like we're almost at the audition.
Yes.
Right. They've broken up.
Hmm.
They're living separate lives. He has gone back to his BFF, who's really bad influence, but he is trying to tell him, stop trying to go out in these streets and mess with those people on the other side of town because things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And we did miss that when Nikki and Sara were having their fight, the boys were playing basketball and somebody did a drive-by shooting at them.
Yes.
So now there's like,
Retaliation.
right. And right before, so Sara is going to go to her audition. She tells her dad that she really wishes that Derek would
Derek.
go
Yeah.
because she wants someone who loves her to be there. I do want to preface that her dad says, "Well, I love you," but his ass ain't in that seat
Yeah.
at that audition.
She probably didn't want him there, honestly. Like, I wouldn't want him there either. Like,
Yeah.
no, I really want Derek to come. No thanks.
Derek is my plus one in this
Yeah.
Right.
endeavor.
Janelle tells Derek, forgot to mention that I told Sara she wasn't shit. And
And my bad.
my bad. I was in my feelings.
And he said, "Here's your baby. It's getting cold out. Take him inside." And like dips off the playground.
Yeah. He was like, stay out of my business,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Mhm.
And so he goes through hell and high water
Mhm.
to go tell his friend, stop being a punk ass bitch.
Mhm.
And then to go find Sara. And when he finds Sara, she fucking up her audition. And he
So
running
bad.
up on the stage. I'm telling you right now, Juilliard is like, nah.
I know Juilliard hated when this came out.
Yeah.
When people just was like, thought
That's
it was
it?
this easy to get into Juilliard. Like, I know they hated it.
Imagine how many auditions happen where they're like, okay, play my music now. In my dreams, every 10 seconds.
A lot of pointing.
Yeah.
And the way he runs into that theater, and it's just like, Sara, she
Yeah.
is ready. She is ready to audition, like speaking
she is
for her
ready.
and shit.
Yeah. He's like,
Ugh.
that
And
judge
then he's
hates
just,
me.
she's on stage like, my savior, I'm ready now.
I'm ready.
I'll give it to Julia that she did a lot of work trying to prep for this movie because she said she did not want a body double. She said the dilemma for her was that she had to constantly prove herself as a dancer because she didn't want them to double her.
But they
And
did, right?
they doubled her she knew that they were going to double her for the point because she didn't know how
Okay.
to do point. But
Okay.
everything else, she's like, it had to be me. And it was. I don't think they doubled her
I think
besides
that's
that.
why there was a lot of like medium shot, waist up,
Mhm.
pointing, arm dancing is what she could handle.
Mhm.
For Julia, I love you, girl. That's all I got to say. You did great.
I mean, yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, Juilliard is calling my girl's name. Go, Sara. But
And like, I don't think it's to Julia's fault. Like, I think she is a decent dancer and she worked really hard. So she did what she could in the allotted amount of time she had. I think she prepared for 2 months prior to the movie.
she prepared for 2 months with that.
Just dance training in general.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
not for that specific dance.
okay.
So I think she did everything she could to be as prepared for this role as she could be.
Yeah.
Good on her.
I mean, Fatima is a great choreographer.
But I mean, the Backstreet Boys were pointing too. So
But that's different. We always knew
We
the
talking about
Backstreet
Juilliard.
Boys.
I'm just saying in the like here, let's give you some moves that we know you're gonna nail.
Right. That's why she's great at what she does.
Yes.
She was dealing with dancers and
Mhm.
non-dancers and
Yeah.
anything in between. But one thing that was cool about this production is that the director and the cast and Fatima, they were going out every night to go to all the clubs in Chicago. Julia said that she didn't go because she said she was really uptight back then. She took herself very seriously and she was like, "Oh, I have to be up in the morning." And so she just never went out with them.
But she was also a baby.
Yeah.
That
I
too.
probably would have went out like one night, but not every night.
But
Mm,
when
Yeah.
you're 19, that's when you want to be out and be in the
True.
club.
True. But
So
if you gotta
maybe
be
she
up at
just
like 5 a.m. to shoot, like
Yeah.
I kind of don't blame her. But I would have went out one night,
Yeah.
just one.
She says she regrets it, as she should.
Mm.
She should have gone out with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. And then they tell her off the record that she got in, which I'm like, be so
Ain't
for
never
real.
happening, never.
Never,
Never in
ever.
life.
Never in life.
Because
Ever.
they've got to report back to the main hub. This is
Right.
not
Mhm.
even in New York. This is
Right.
a
A
satellite
satellite.
audition. Give me a break.
Yeah. And it's so funny, like how the judges are like smiling through, even the one that
Right.
hates her, like,
Right.
Just like it's like okay,
Give me a
okay,
break.
yeah.
To go from like, you need to get off my stage to off the record in like 3.5 minutes, I'm like, never in a million years. Especially like,
Never.
I just in my brain imagine Juilliard judges to be a special breed of like judgy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With an 8% chance that you get in,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
And then we end the movie at steps
Ed
again.
steps. Yeah.
And we're all happy. Derek is going to Georgetown. And there is a scene between Sara and Chenille where she's kind of acting like everything is cool, but it's like they're having a full conversation with
Mhm.
their eyes because Chenille is apologizing essentially.
Mhm.
And
But
you
never
could
said I'm sorry.
never says I'm sorry. And you can see Sara kind of being like, okay.
Yeah.
And eventually
I,
warming up. We're
yeah.
cool.
Oh, and
But
then we missed in between Derek trying to get to Juilliard and Sara doing like the first half of her audition. It's Malachi doing the drive-by.
mhm.
And I don't think they show that anyone, do they show that anyone gets shot? I mean,
The people in the car, their car gets blown up. He gets
that's
arrested,
right.
Yeah, he gets arrested.
Yeah.
and well,
Ruins his life.
Yeah.
what I do want to say is, hear me out. Snooki, the guy who plays Snooki, he just he gave me a Walmart discount version of Donald Faison.
Yes. 100%. 100%. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
No offense to him, I love me some Donald Faison, but yeah,
Yeah, he absolutely did. I'll also say too, what I like about the end of the movie is that you know he's going to Georgetown and you know she's going to Juilliard. So they may stay together, but they may break up. But there's no like, oh, I'm changing my plans for you. Like I'm a really
Yes.
big advocate of that. Like,
yeah,
we support each other and we're gonna go live our lives. Like, so
Yes.
I do like that one aspect that she was like, no, I'll go to Georgetown with you, or vice versa. Like, no, we're
yeah.
not doing that.
That's so true. I do like that. We do find out what happens to them in Save the Last Dance too. Fully recast by totally
Wait,
unnamed.
what? Why am I finding out about all these like sequels that I've never? Oh, who's this white girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh? Columbus Short?
Yeah. That's her new
Oh,
love interest.
Neo? Oh wow. Okay. So do they bring up Sarah
Derek,
and Derek?
I think so. I have never seen it, but
Okay. Okay.
word on the street, Derek gone. Yeah.
What you
Oh.
mean?
Like he I don't think he's in this movie.
Oh,
So,
I
like
thought you
they're not
meant
together.
What happened to Derek?
I thought you meant he like died or something.
No, sorry, my bad. So yeah, that everybody joins them on the dance floor, and that is Save the Last Dance.
If you dance.
Do they end with so I could dance? Is that what they end with?
I don't remember now. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
It was, I was having PTSD at the end. I was like, Lord, let me just get through this.
Let me do it.
Well,
Let me do
the audition scene at the start of the movie was filmed at the Athenaeum Theater in Chicago.
According to an early draft of the script, Sara lived with her mother in Pennsylvania before moving in with her father in Baltimore. By the time the film was shot, the locations were Lamont, Illinois, and Chicago, respectively. Okay.
I'm
I
glad
think
they
she would
made
have
that
had
change.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what part of Pennsylvania, she might have had a little bit more grit to her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Philly.
During Derek and Sarah's first dance practice in the school cafeteria, the entire scene was completely improvised, specifically by Sean Patrick Thomas, as the cameras caught him muttering instructions to Julia Stiles, even though she already knew how to dance.
Mm.
I love that.
And, well, do want to give props to the costume designer who is Sandra Hernandez, and just to drop what other movies she has done. So she did the costume design for this movie. He Got Game, Girl Six, Nora's Infinite Playlist, amongst many others. So
Okay. Go,
I did,
Sandra.
yeah.
Go, girl.
And speaking of costumes, in many scenes, in particular when Derek is first teaching Sara to dance, and the scene where Sara gets upset waiting for the bus because Derek tried to talk about her mom, Sara and Derek's outfits mirror one another to symbolize that they are the yin to the other's yang.
Huh.
So in the scene behind me, I paid attention because I read that before I watched the movie. And so she's wearing a red shirt with black pants, and he's wearing a black shirt with like maroon pants.
Oh. Last fun fact, and I'm not sure if it's true or not. It was on I think it was on People or Enter or E News, but it said we had the film to thank for the birth of Snooki, sorta. You know, Snooki from Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Then a high school student, better known as Nicole,
Easy.
the future Jersey Shore standout, lifted her fame-making nickname from the film's class clown who moonlighted as a DJ at Steps. True.
Snooki.
That is true. I don't know what else to say.
Oh my God, not the coochie crook. No.
This movie cannot get more iconic than that. All right, before we dive into our final ratings, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social, Tatiana?
Yes, so you find me on Instagram at exo Tatiana, Tatiana with a Y. You can also find me on TikTok at Tatiana Arrington. You can find the podcast, The Pop Culture Playbook, wherever you get your podcast. And if you love films and you want to be kept up to date on everything film, you can check us out at whatthefilmshow_.
And don't forget to follow us at No More Late Fees on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Threads. And Tatiana, I'm going to start with you. What is your today rating of Save the Last Dance?
My today rating, I think I'm going to go 2-day rental.
Jackie?
I'm right there with you. Yeah, I watched it again.
I was trying to figure out what I was going to pick for this. Again, I do think this movie is a time capsule, and we could have a lot of commentary on it, but it did what it had to do at the time.
Yes.
And I very much appreciate that because it was a stepping stone for other things to come about.
Absolutely.
But I don't think I could sit through this like every year. So maybe every 5 years I might come back to it. So I'm going to give it a 2-day rental.
Okay. Well, if you have any commentary on Save the Last Dance or any of the other movies that we've done, hit us up at our quick drop 909-601-6653. You can also text message us at that number and you can be featured on a future episode.
Can you believe it's been 6 years with No More Late Fees? Join us next week as we kick off season 6 with a special episode dedicated to the OC.
I can't wait to talk about Sandy's eyebrows and Ryan's side glances and Marissa's incredibly long torso.
Mm.
Yeah, but what's up with Adam Brody's voice? We could talk offline, but like,
yeah.
Oh.
I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tatiana, for joining us.
Yes.
It was lovely. We so enjoyed having this conversation with you.
Very much so.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a blast. I had so much fun.
Oh, good.
And as always, be kind and rewind.